Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. What's up, what's up, what's up? Let's get into it. We got a pretty interesting week coming up, to say the least. There's some data releasing that's very, very important. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to do a quick recap of last week, what's been going on in the market. We're going to take a little bit of a look as to what I am expecting from a technical and fundamental perspective this week, some changes that I have planned for my portfolio, and much more. We have a good bit to get into today. It is a Sunday, and you guys know on Sundays we like to prepare for the week. Just make sure we're aware of, okay, what do we have inbound? What do we need to be looking out for? And much more. So I hope you all have had a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a great Sunday. It's a super, super nasty rainy day here in Louisiana right now, but at the end of the day, we're still going to get it done. And so I hope you all are having, again, a very good morning or afternoon or night, wherever you are. And yeah, let's get into it. So just let me know. Video, is it good? Audio, is it good? And if so, we're going to go ahead and get started. Some of you are saying, Rip Crow. What is going on with Crow? What's up, David? DW, how's it going? How's it going? Omar, welcome in, my friend. John, how's it going? Shazir, Mikiel, how are we doing? How are we doing? Welcome in, everyone. What's up? Alrighty, looks like we're good to go. Again, let me know if volume and audio, all that good stuff is all good. From Saudi Arabia, love your lives. Well, shout out to you and much appreciated as always. Andrew says, been recommending your channel to people asking about how to do crypto. I appreciate that. We have a bunch of beginner content coming out. We have a bunch of beginner content coming out on the channel here pretty soon, so that actually works pretty well. You're good? Sounds good. Alrighty. All right, everybody, let's get into it. And hello to my friend Daniel from Nicaragua. Happy to have you. Okay. So kind of where we at? Let's do a general market overview. Let's get just a general recap of what's going on, right? So the last week in crypto was a bit of an odd one. You know, Bitcoin down just a little bit, ETH up just a little bit. XRP and Solana getting absolutely brutalized. Same thing for Doge, Chainlink, and a couple more. But for the most part, not overall terrible performance from the market. Not great, just kind of in the middle. You look at the weekly performance of course, crypto in general. You can see that we did have some outstanding gains from things like S, from IP, Bera, MKR, Pyth, a few of these actually being layer ones, which I think is a very good sign. I think the fact that we are seeing layer ones getting a lot of shine and attention right now is a very good thing. I think, again, it means that the market is maturing. It's recognizing that there is value and gains in places outside of meme coins, and that's a natural rotation that we're going to need to see. You know, the meme coin space has been toxic. It's been gross. It's been just full of absolute ridiculous stuff, that things that I've seen over the last couple of days. And I don't know if you guys, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but things are happening in the meme coin space that are just detestable at this point. And so I think we need a natural shift away from meme coins right now, because quite frankly, it's just not a great space to be in. And so the fact that we are seeing some things like S and IP holding up very well, I think it's a very good sign. Obviously, IP did pop up on the scene. This went live, let's see, on this, it was February 13th, but absolutely smashing of a launch, quite frankly. I mean, if we head out actually to Coin market cap, this one's performed very well. I mean, kind of coming onto the scene around that $1 mark, currently sat at $3.07. Definitely a much more long-term, sustainable, consistent growth than we saw from, obviously, you know, your Trump coins and all that good stuff. Market cap right under $1 billion, but fully diluted valuation at 3.7 bill, holding up $500 million worth of volume. Bunch of exchange listings, doing very well. Honestly, you do like to see that. Obviously, to be able to jump onto the scene and actually be able to provide these sorts of gains and this sort of consistency is very difficult. And it does go to show that, again, there are still gains in places outside of meme coins. And I think that's something a lot of people needed to be reminded of. So you do love to see that. Obviously, that has fueled, again, a lot of growth from other things. We did see World Liberty Financial last week also come in, and they came in and they bought some SCI, which did spark a couple other layer ones to perform well. For example, you can see the S token performing very well. Hour in the day, obviously a little slow, but on the week and on the month, a lot of growth, and it's something you like to see. Obviously, this used to be the Phantom token, but this is the Sonic token now, one that I do own. I did buy a little bit of this bad boy. Let me go actually look. Let's head over. I'm curious. I can't remember the last time I bought it. Let's see. It would have been. Let's see if I can find this. Give me one sec. My most recent purchase on this one would have been on the 9th of January. in which I bought a little phantom right at 64 cents. This bad boy is currently sat at roughly, where we at? 83 cents. So a sizable gain. I mean, what's that, 33% or something along those lines. So fantastic. I think maybe a little like 28, 29%, whatever. But yeah, some pretty solid gains there from Phantom. You see the same thing from MKR, pushing up on the week, pushing up a little bit on the month, recovering a lot of those losses. So overall, although the market hasn't particularly been fun, to say the least, over the last week, we have seen a little bit of development for some of these layer ones and some of these ones that have recently burst on the scene. And I think it does, again, show people that you don't need to just try to gamble it all away on meme coins. You can make gains with good, strong, foundationally secure cryptos. I mean, IP seems to be one of those ones that really proved that this week, right? And so, yeah, looks fantastic, honestly, for these few cryptos, and the rest of the market kind of just mid, to say the least. Not a terrible week, not a great week, just a mid week. Now, with the week approaching, though, I think things are going to start getting spicy. I think things are going to get interesting. As many of you do know, I am anticipating that some sort of breakout is on the way for this crypto market. I think it's just going to be forced to make a move soon, and I'll explain all that in a second. And there is some stuff that's coming this week, or one specific thing coming this week, that I think could actually shift the market to make that move. What we can see here is that in this week approaching, we are going to get the we're going to get PCE data. Okay, we're going to get PCE data. Now, PCE data, which is personal consumption expenditures, as per Google, says that it serves as the primary measure of consumer spending in the United States, providing key insights into how much people are spending on goods and services. Now, the reason I brought this up and the reason why I'm focused on this today is because on Friday, we're going to get that data. This is the Fed's preferred method of measuring inflation, right? Just quick summary for those of you who may be new to crypto. We're in a period right now where we don't have many catalysts on the horizon, right? There's not a Bitcoin halving. There's not any of these things, right? And so we're going to see the crypto market somewhat falling in line with traditional investing and traditional investing values. And the reason that's so important is because in the general world right now, we are seeing macro factors impacting things like the stock market and even the crypto market. Some of these macro factors include inflation in the United States, for example. How does that work? Well, as inflation is going up, or as inflation has just been higher in general, the Fed has had to go in and constrain the economy a little bit with things like higher interest rates and quantitative tightening. Now, in order to, the reason that they're doing this is just simply to reduce inflation. And at some given point, inflation will likely get to the point in which they're happy with, they're satisfied with for a sustained period of time. And then what's very likely to happen is they're going to release some of those constraints, maybe start quantitative easing, maybe lowering interest rates. Who really knows? And history says that when you enter into a period of QE, or quantitative easing, that's usually good for risk on assets, or assets like crypto that are a little bit more risky. Why? Well, as a result of course, a QE, right? You're going to see liquidity, or just let's just call it the amount of money people have, or the ability to access money. It's easier and it's cheaper. And that usually does find its way into risk on assets like these, which is generally a good thing for crypto. And so because of that, considering we don't have many, how do you say, like many catalysts or many big things happening in the world of crypto, you kind of start to pay more and more attention to things like this, right? What is happening with inflation? Because it is one of the most directly impactful things that is out there right now that can shift this market either upwards or downwards. This is the reason why last month, or in, kind of the month before that, a lot of the volatility or just the craziness in the market happened as a result of inflation data. Do you remember when inflation data came in a little worse than expected and the market dropped? Well, that's because people were worried that the Fed wasn't going to start QE as soon as most people thought. Therefore, the market might stay sideways or downwards for a longer period of time, causing people to sell off. And so all of this to say, to make it very simple, is that we need to pay close attention to this, because especially in a period like right now, where there's not a lot of catalyst, this is very important for the macro picture of crypto and what general direction, not only just crypto, but many traditional markets may move in. And so with that in mind, it is very important that we pay very close attention to how this plays out. Okay, how this plays out. Now, when does that happen? That happens on Friday. Okay, that happens on Friday. We're going to get PCE data. Ideally, PCE data comes in at expectations or better than expected. If that is the case, we're going to likely be in a situation where maybe the Fed does kind of stick to their plan, stick to their strategy, or maybe get a little dovish, which in crypto words is bullish, right? That would be ideal. There is a risk, though, considering what we've been seeing from every metric recently, that PCE data comes a little bit worse than expected. And if that is the case, that's not particularly going to be great for crypto. I think that the retail market doesn't particularly care as much right now. Let me break this down a little bit. I don't think retail investors, for the most part, care as much about this data, right? So I don't particularly think if PCE data comes in fantastic, I don't think Bitcoin is going to go to 120K. If it comes in terrible, I don't think it's going to go to $60,000. But I do think it will be important enough to cause some sort of fluctuations. I think it will cause some sort of volatility and some sort of movement. And so that's why, of course, you need to be aware and understanding that when you have something at the end of the week that is rather important, the week is going to start getting a little bit choppy. The week is going to start getting a little bit weird. In preparation for PCE data on Friday, what's very likely is that you're going to start to see what's called liquidations. And let me break this down for you, okay? So people are going to start making bets as to what the market is going to do in response to PCE data. So some people are going to say, okay, PCE data is going to be good, therefore market go up. So I go long, meaning they bet the market goes up. Some people will be on the other side. They'll see, I bet that PCE data is coming in as bad, which means the market goes down, so I'm going to go short or bet that the market's going to go down. Now, as a result of people making these bets, what happens is they're usually on what's called leverage, which is just a risky form of investing. And what ends up happening as a result of that is they can get what's called liquidated, meaning that they're so wrong that they lose everything. Let's just keep it that simple, okay? And now, Tyler, why is this important? Well, what I've noticed throughout history is that when liquidations start climbing, meaning more people can get liquidated, which simply means a lot of people are betting on the direction that the market's going to go, the market starts getting volatile. It swings up and down, just trying to liquidate people to the top, liquidate to the people to the bottom, liquidate to the top, liquidate to the bottom. And it just happens over and over and over again. And what you have to understand is that this can be very dangerous, especially if you're a bit newer to the market or even if you're advanced. It can be a bit of a dangerous thing, okay? It can be a bit of a dangerous thing because it's going to spark emotions. It's going to spark some people to have FOMO and some people to have fear. People are going to start to get a little impatient. They're going to start revenge trading. They're going to do a bunch of things that are going to make them lose money. And so in a week like this, when you have such an important metric coming out, and let me just double check my, let me make sure. It's because someone said I think it came out already. I just want to make sure. PCE data comes out. Yeah. Coming out on February 28th. Okay. So, which is again Friday. So anyway, with this in mind and kind of knowing based on history, when you have an event like that at the end of the week and that week can get choppy, you need to really strategize. Okay. You need to understand that there's going to be a lot of emotions flying probably this week, a lot of people pissed and a lot of people excited. And if you allow yourself to kind of fall into that trap of emotion, there's a very high likelihood that at some point this week, you're really going to lose and you're going to lose bad because the market's going to maybe break out just a little bit and you're going to get super into it and super excited. And then it dumps, or it's going to dump and you're going to be super scared. Like, damn, Bitcoin's going to $80,000 and you're going to sell everything. And then maybe it reverses and it goes back up towards, $90,000. Right. So you just got to understand that it's a risky game to play. And knowing that we have such an important piece of data coming out at the end of this week, what I will say, kind of recommend, I guess, which my lawyers will hate me for saying that word, is to just be a little chill this week. Right. Let it play out. Let the emotions play out. Let people freak out. Let them get excited. Let them get scared. Let them do what they're going to do. But nothing really matters until we see Friday. Because Friday is going to determine what does the Fed think. They're not obviously we're not going to know what the Fed thinks, but we'll have a good understanding, right? PCE data comes in very good. Here, sorry. Let me just go ahead and I'm sorry, brother. I got to mute you for a little bit. You're just spamming too much. You just should, in my opinion, again, kind of going back there, you need to just let it play out because nothing matters until what we see on Friday. On Friday, we're going to see, okay, it's PCE coming at expectations, which is pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Better than expected, which would surprise me, but hey, what can you do? Which would be very good, or worse than expected. Because that's then going to give us an idea of how the Fed's feeling, what sort of responses they're going to have to that information, and what sort of impact that could have on the economy in terms of interest rates and quantitative easing. And so because of that, I would highly recommend, again, lawyers, I'm sorry, most people to just relax this week. I haven't leverage traded in almost 2 months because we are in what's called an HMZ. I know my friend in here is going to, yeah, Mr. Nibbles calls me Mr. HMZ, right? We're in an HMZ. And so I haven't leverage traded in 2 months at least. I'm still not going to leverage trade this week. I won't make any big buys. I also won't make any big sells because I don't like doing big things when people are being impulsive because I almost always lose, right? Some sort of something influences my decision making. Some sort of bias gets injected into my veins from what I'm reading on Twitter or maybe watching on YouTube that causes me to get a little a little emotional with it. And so I'm not doing anything big. No big buys, no big sells, no leverage trading. I'm not doing any of that this week. I'm just going to let it play out. I want to see what happens Friday, what sort of impact that has on the market. What do institutions do? Does PCE data come out very good and then institutions start buying? That's a big sign. Does it come in at expectations and they start buying, or do they start selling, or what do they do as a response? And then once I have a clear picture of how all that is going on, then I'll start making moves. But until then, I'm not doing much. And unless you're advanced, I would recommend not doing too much this week. Okay, I would recommend not doing too much this week. So that's why this week is so important. Don't get too caught up into it, and obviously protect yourself. One thing that I do want to warn you all about. Something happened at the end of last week that I found odd. We saw the Bybit hack. We saw House of Crypto hacked. And I know a guy on Twitter who got hacked. All within like 24 hours. That's unusual. Okay. And this is just something that it just crossed my brain, and I want to share it with you real quick. It's unusual for it to happen like that. Right? I don't know why. I have no explanations for it. But what I will say is, take today, after we get off live, take today and just go through some security stuff, right? Maybe go change a couple passwords. Go make sure you have 2FA enabled on everything. Go make sure there's not been any weird transactions in your wallets. Just go double check all your stuff. Make sure your accounts are good. They're whatever, right? If you have too much money on an exchange, go just pull a little bit off. Go put it on a cold storage. Don't interact with it. Just stay a little low for the next couple days, because that shit was weird. Honestly, that was weird. The way it all played out like that. And I don't think they're correlated. It could just be weird timing. But just after we get off of this, just go protect yourself a little bit, okay? One thing I do want to share, it kind of just, it makes sense in my head to go into this next. All of you who are new, because I know we've been getting a lot more new people here on the stream. If you are new, what I will tell you to do real quick, especially if you do want to kind of just go protect your stuff, right? Whatever. I'm not about to sponsor anything, don't worry. I do have a free guide for you. It is down below. You can go check it out. It's literally just a free guide. I don't have anything else to sell. I'm not doing that. There is an upsell at the end for the school. You can just get it. Go to the link down below, enter in your email, press sign up and download. I'm going to send you this. And there is a section which talks about how you can store your crypto. There's also a section that kind of goes over, and this is all very beginner stuff, like must know safety tips, recognizing and avoiding scams. Go check that out if you're new. Just go download it. Again, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. There is an upsell at the end for the school if you want to join it. I'll just warn you now. But yeah, I just wanted to wanted to focus on that real quick, because it's weird. It's weird that it all happened like that. And so with that in mind, now that you kind of have a general understanding of what we're expecting for the week, kind of what, I'm looking at over the next couple of days, what I'm doing this week, what I actually want to do is shift gears a little bit. And I want to go into more of a technical side of things and talk about the technicals. Let's look at a couple of charts. I want to show you the Bollinger Band width, because it's showing me that breakout signal I told you all about last week is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's just, I can't help but imagine that some sort of big move is on the way. And I'm just getting my mind prepared for it. And so I want to share that with you. And so with that in mind, let's shift gears a little bit. Before we do that, let's take a minute, 2 minutes. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat, revolving more around the fundamental side of things, and then we'll get going. While you guys are putting your questions down below, again, we're going to take 2 quick minutes before we shift gears here. Leave your questions down there. While you're doing that, I will let you know, don't forget, I do post a lot over on Twitter. Shameless shill here, shameless plug. At Tyler Hill YT, if you do want to go follow me, we talk about a whole bunch of stuff, what's happening with Bitcoin, liquidations. I mean, you can kind of see. We post analysis 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, every day. I have a team dedicated to working with me to get this out there for you guys. It's completely free. So do feel free to go follow me at Tyler Hill YT. And if you are doing trading, although I'm not doing trading, I will let you know, again, you can get some very, very, very big rewards over on Weeks right now. I did link that down below. You can get up to $10,000 to $20,000 worth of bonuses and rewards. It's a no KYC platform at the moment. You can sign up, start trading, and doing all that stuff today. And lastly, towards the end of the stream, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the school, which you can go sign up now if you do want to see the things that I'm buying, and some courses, classes, live streams, whatever. So let's kind of jump into it now, and let's see if we have any questions. Any recommendations to track all coins in one app? I personally use Coin Market Cap for everything. I can kind of show you what that looks like on my end. So I actually created that beginner portfolio not too long ago, as you know. And I like to just track it all here. So if I go to portfolio, you can kind of see what I do. So I have my actual assets that I hold in one portfolio. Then I have my cash that I hold in another one. That gives me a total overview of like what my overall allocation actually looks like. So you can see here for my beginner portfolio, I got USDC, 88% of it's invested, it's just in cash right now. And then you can see like the percentages that I have allocated of my total portfolio into everything. You can see the trains, the portfolio itself. If you head over to beginner portfolio right here, you can see average buying price, profit loss, holdings. You can download the CSV report of it, and it'll actually tell you all your purchases and transactions, which is great for taxes and stuff. So I do use CoinMarketCap. It does get a little bit difficult if you are using or investing into a bunch of micro caps, but since I'm not for the beginner portfolio, this is a good one. CoinGecko's a little bit better if you are going to be investing into a lot of micro caps because they typically have more micro caps. But that's what I use. But feel free to leave us some suggestions down below in the chat if you use something else that you think is a little bit better. That's a great point. Someone said, Tyler, you just advised us to not open weird or suspicious links or download suspicious stuff, and now you send us a free Yeah, click this link and then give me your email and then go download this thing onto your computer and just trust me. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. Anyway, does anybody want my social security? Okay. All righty. Not seeing any more questions regarding the fundamentals, so we're going to go ahead and push forward. Okay. All right, let's move forward. Let's talk about the technicals. What is up, M. White? How's it going, homie? Okay, here we go. So let's go in and do some technical analysis, shall we? Let's start at total market cap 1. So total market cap 1 has just been in a consolidatory moment. Tyler, what is a consolidatory moment? It's when the market's going sideways. There's a word named consolidation. I'm sure you've heard it before, but if you're new here, there's a word called consolidation, which basically means that the price of an asset is just doing this, right? It's going sideways, or it's consolidating. And that's what the total market cap's been doing basically all of February. We, of course, had that dump back here. We had some recovery. And since then, we've seen just a big funnel happening. You have retail investors handing over their money to institutions. Retail investors are selling, institutions are buying. They're selling, they're buying. Retail is selling, institutions are buying, which is causing this sideways moment in which the price is going sideways. Now, or it's not doing anything. Now, in addition to that, we're also seeing people just kind of in a pause moment. You, of course, know that what we saw recently, especially over the last month, was not fantastic when it comes to inflation data. It came in worse than expected. And so knowing that, people are kind of in a freeze moment, like, all right, well, we need to see what's going to happen. Is inflation going to start, getting a little bit better? Is it going to start going down? Is it going to start picking up and getting worse? People don't really know. They don't know what the rest of this year is going to look like from an economic perspective. And so as a result of that, they're not doing too much. A lot of people are just frozen in the headlights right now, right? Which is a part of the reason as to why you're seeing the price going sideways. In addition to that, I do believe that this is there is some sort of price suppression, manipulative shit going on right now, if I'm going to be super honest with you, especially for things like ETH. I think ETH is quite blatantly being suppressed in terms of price, but I'm not going to try. I feel like I go on long tangents every single stream about manipulation and lizard people, so I'm just going to say I think it's being suppressed and manipulated here, but there are fundamental reasons as to why, of course, the price is going sideways as well. It's also not a super uncommon thing to see, like a big wick like this that is followed by some sort of sideways movement. For example, if we kind of just go look at what's happened, the last time we saw one, it was very similar. We saw this big wick, we came back up, and then we kind of just went sideways for a couple weeks afterwards. You can kind of see it from a macro or a micro perspective right there as well. And you can, maybe even see it like right here as well, right? You kind of see this bigger wick, and then you just go sideways for a while. I think it's just the market recovering. That was obviously a very traumatic move for the price, a huge move downwards, a huge move upwards, huge liquidations on both sides. And both sides are just playing chicken right now, right? You got the bulls going long, you got the bears going short, and it's kind of forcing the price to get compressed a little bit to some degree. And so it's not an unusual thing to see happen. And so we're kind of just in a spot where the crypto market is just at a pause. It's at a standstill. And I think it's going to take something either very good or very bad to break us out of this pause or out of this standstill. Now, if PCE data comes in way worse than expected or way better than expected, yeah, I think that can maybe make that move happen, right? I think that's very possible. But I would be being very careful about this right now. Now, the reason why I would be being very careful about this right now is because it's probably not gonna happen as you think, right? If you think, okay, PCE data is gonna come in and it's gonna tank, or PCE data is gonna come in and it's gonna pump, that's probably not how it's gonna go. And the reason I say that is if you look at the liquidation map right now, you can start to see the picture that I'm trying to paint. To the upside, there are hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidations. To the downside, there are hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidations. Matter of fact, if we just look at the 30-day chart here, you can see what I'm talking about. From $96,000 to 91 or $95,000 to $91,000, there's roughly a cumulative $5 billion worth of liquidations. From $95,000 to $100,000, there's roughly $5.9 billion worth of liquidations. What this means is that there's a ton of liquidation sitting above. Yeah, and that's for Bitcoin specifically, but obviously it is impactful for the whole market. But there's a ton of liquidations that are sitting above these prices and a ton sitting below them, almost an equal amount. And the problem with that is that those lizard people, right, those whales, they're going to be licking their little lizard lips looking at that, thinking, okay, well, if we can somehow get this market to herky jerk in one direction or another, we can probably liquidate most of those people and feed $8 to $10 billion worth of liquidations into our machine, right? And so I personally have noticed that whenever you have huge liquidations on both sides, it's not uncommon to see both, in which could look like this, or which could look like this, or which could literally look like that, or it could look like, this, or it could look like this. You never really know. I think when we finally decide to move, it's going to be violent. I think it's going to be very fast. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard, and most of these people are going to end up getting liquidated. Oftentimes, most people in this situation get liquidated. And so this does kind of further go in with what I told you all about earlier, in the sense that I'm not really doing anything right now because I don't want to get caught up in this. I don't want to be lizard food. I don't want to get liquidated, and I don't want to be buying big bags right here if the market's going to start getting crazy, because that is going to increase my emotional stress, I guess, to some degree, right? And so with that in mind, from a technical perspective and from a fundamental induced perspective, I'm just looking at this and not really, I'm not a huge fan of doing anything right here until we get more macro structural clarity. And I'm not talking about just a breakout. I'm talking like a breakout, a back test, and a continuation. I'm talking about a breakout, back test, higher, higher, lower, low, something like that, something like that. Until we get a full move of that nature, I'm not going to buy it, because what could end up happening is this, or what could end up happening is this. I'm not buying it. I need to see a full macro move. Now, the sucky part about it is that even if you zoom out of this, right, this little period that we're in right now, it does still remain very gruesome in the sense of just being boring as shit, right? Because if we do look at what is happening right here for Bitcoin, even when we do see the total market cap of crypto break out of this tiny structure it's in, we're still in this macro structure, right? You guys know I say it a million times a day. I have HMZ written across my forehead in the mirror, basically. But we're in an HMZ. We're in a high manipulation zone. And even if we break out of this little microstructure that we're in right now, we're still in an HMZ. There's still going to be heavy manipulation. There's still going to be a lot of BS that goes on. There's still going to be fake outs and breakouts and micro pumps, liquidity hunts. Everything that can happen will happen here. Shout out to Mr. Nibbles. And so with that in mind, even when we get the breakout of that sideways channel, I'm still not going to be doing much, because at the end of the day, we're still in this structure. And I've told you all, guys, I told you in December. I told you on December 20th. Let me show you where December 20th was. Right here on the back test of that ascending, we had this ascending structure. We broke to the downside and we returned back up to it right here. And on this day, you can go fact check me right now. Go to my channel on December 20th. I told you all, we have now entered into an HMZ. This can last for weeks or even months. History says there's some asset classes that's lasted for years, which I don't think is going to happen here. This can happen for months. There's going to be violent liquidity hunts on every side and every direction. You're going to see pumps, dumps, fake outs, micro breakouts, back tests, liquidity hunts. Everything that can happen will happen. And since then, for 2 months straight, that is what's happened. And I'm sticking to it. While we are in this red box, don't do much. Because at the end of the day, at any given point, this market can send it up 10K or Bitcoin can send it up 10K or down 10K, and it's going to liquidate people in ways you've never seen before. And if you don't believe me, look at liquidation history. Look at liquidation history. I'm not making this up. There has been an accumulative more liquidations since December in the crypto market than we've ever seen before. We have never seen this amount of liquidations. And what this means is that this little range, this high manipulation zone, is the most successful manipulative zone that crypto has ever seen before. And so while we're still in it, you are at risk and you shouldn't be doing much. No big buys, unless you're willing to let them ride for multiple years, which could be the possible, reality here. No big sells unless you're perfectly fine taking some profit and just leaving that money, and you're not going to regret it if the market rallies, and especially no big leverage. Just let it play out, and there will be a time will come where this is behind us. This is a thing of the past. This is a thing of the past. Okay. I remember we were in an HMZ last year. You know what's shitty? We literally went from HMZ to HMZ. We were literally in one up until basically right here. And then we started rallying out of it. We rallied for 3 months, and then we entered right back into another one. But that's the way the crypto market works, right? It's just how it goes. You have these sideways periods, which some people consider accumulative periods, where you accumulate, then the market rallies, and then that's just what it is. And then over time, you're going to have them going in the opposite direction, right? But there will be a time where this is a figment of the past, right? Just like this one was. And so my general strategy while we've been in this, I buy in this bottom red box. I do small to medium sized purchases, and I just leave it alone. I just leave it alone. Case scenario number one, there's 3 scenarios here, okay? Scenario number 1 is that Bitcoin's just going to rally out of this. It's going to be difficult, but it's possible. Scenario number 2, which I think is a more likely scenario, is that Bitcoin pulls back out to the downside of this, then tries to recover and pushes. And the only reason that I say I think it's more of a likely scenario is because if Bitcoin is going to go up, it almost always goes down first. Look what happened back there, right? Before Bitcoin could rally, it had to dump. Look at what happened back here. Before Bitcoin could rally, it had to dump, right? And so for me, I think this is a much more possible scenario than it just absolutely sending it out of this. And then option number 3, that's option 1 and 2. Option number 3 is this: the bear market starts, right? The option number 3 is the bear market starts. So let me show you how me just dollar cost averaging in this bottom side of this zone plays out in all of those scenarios. Option number 1 is my purchase is just going to profit. I take profits as it goes up. All is happy. Option number 2 is that it pulls back. I get a little bit stressed out behind my eyes, but I don't really talk about it because I'm not that worried about it. Then we recover. I do a little bit of dollar cost averaging as the market goes down. I accidentally get close to buying somewhere near the bottom, and then it rallies. That's fine with me. Then I take some profits. Or it starts to fall, and these purchases I made right here go negative for a year or 2, or maybe 3, until eventually we recover, and then I end up in profit. And while we went down, I dollar cost average even bigger amounts and large portions to reduce my average cost from being all the way up here to somewhere back towards this level. This is the reason why when I showed you all my beginner portfolio, look how much cash is still sitting on the side. Look at this. 88% I'm sitting in cash. Why? Because the bear market's going to happen eventually. Lock in. It's going to happen eventually. So keep some cash on the side when it comes. But one way or another, all 3 of those ideas end up in profit. It's either going to be now, a little bit later, or much later. It's just a waiting game. And it's about being patient. Okay. It's just about being patient. And so my strategy right now is, even if we do see the crypto market break out of this sideways channel, that doesn't mean I'm going to do much, because we're still in this freaking HMZ, guys. We're still in this HMZ. Now, when we start looking at altcoins, let's look at total 2, which is the total market cap of altcoins. I'm in a similar spot. I'm trying to put my thoughts together here. I'm in a similar spot, but altcoins are starting to look a little more appealing to me right now. They've corrected so much that it almost feels like it's destiny is a crazy word to use. So it's not the word that I'm going to use. But it's starting to feel like there's a strong likelihood that we see altcoins try to do something. They try to make a move. Because if you look at the total market cap of all altcoins, including Ethereum, just not including Bitcoin, obviously, because Bitcoin's not an altcoin, what you can see is that they're in the descending channel, which is naturally and historically a very bullish structure. They had a fake out of that descending channel. They've recovered the bottom zone of it. They're still sitting below the bottom 50%, within the bottom 50%, around that 25% threshold. Tyler, what does this mean? Well, history says that when cryptos, especially altcoins, enter into a phase like this, they are in what I call accumulative zones, or zones to be bought in. This is where you historically, not what Tyler Hill is saying, but what history says, should be buying. You look at the total market cap, you can see it's around, the 42% threshold. You look at something like your Bollinger Bands from a daily perspective, and they are condensing. You look at your Bollinger Bands from a weekly perspective, and now we are back towards that 20 simple moving average right here, the same exact level that historically has pushed us back upwards. You look at your volume, and it is kind of pulling back a little bit as we are pulling back, meaning there's no divergence, meaning that we are seeing a healthy natural correction. You look at your Elliott's waves, and your Elliott's waves point to the idea that if we can rally out of this, we can continue wave 5, and this would not have been wave 5. Everything says to me that there is a chance that this altcoin market rallies. There is a possibility that it rallies. And so I'm willing to still dollar cost average, right? Just like I am dollar cost averaging on Bitcoin, I am also still willing to dollar cost average on altcoins. They are just liable to fall very hard out of nowhere at any given point starting in December. At any given point, alts might eat this dip or eat this wick. And what that means is we wicked, we went sideways, they go sideways, they come back down over an extended period of time, maybe like a week or two, and they start pulling back. So I'm not saying that alts can't pull back. They obviously can pull back. And if Bitcoin drops to say 85,000, alts are going to get cremated for a little while. But I do think that would be an opportunity for them to get that full final extension to the downside and then try to recover to some sort of move. I think the altcoin market will return to this trend line at some point. I think it's going to hit this trend line at some point. And that means the total altcoin market pushing up anywhere from 18 to 20%. So I am willing to dollar cost average still on red days, but I'm not doing gigantic purchases because I know the threat. And I know that the threat is that we can fall out at any given moment now. It might just collapse. So I'm doing some purchasing because I think we're going to hit this trend line again at some point, but I'm not going crazy. Small dollar cost averages, slowly adding to my bags. What sort of things am I buying? I'm buying things like Ethereum, some things like SWI, some things like Solana, things like not so much ADA, something like HBAR, a tiny amount of Pepe. I'm buying the ones, Pepe is going to be a little bit of exclusion here, but I'm buying the quality ones that have corrected a good bit. You look at something like Ethereum, Ethereum has now corrected. Total correction here was almost 50%, right? You look at something like SWI. I told you all. I'm not one of those I told you so ass guys, but this is one of the few moments I will be. Up here, I got destroyed. I made a video about SWI, and I talked about the fact that I was taking profit from SWI because I was concerned. And everyone ate me up in the comment section. You're dumb. You're a moron. Don't sell. Don't sell until $6. Don't sell until $8. All that. And I'm like, listen, we are in an ascending channel. These almost always go down. And now look where we are. It's pulled back. That total pullback for SWI, I mean, guys, we're talking about a 55% correction. These are quality companies dropping 50 or 60%. So I'm buying quality companies that I'm willing to hold in the bear market because the only real risk that I'm taking here right now, the only real risk that I'm taking here right now is I have to hold them throughout the bear market, that I'm buying towards the beginning of the bear market. I buy a little something like SWI right now, and now I got to just freaking hold the thing while it goes all the way back down towards $1. If that is what it is what it is. I mean, what can I do about that? So that's why I'm buying quality stuff, because I know SWI will be around next bull market. It's just going to take a while for me to get profit on the purchases I'm doing now. Now, my average cost for SWI is still back down here. So from a macro perspective, I still don't care that much. But the only risk I'm taking is I don't have to hold them through the bear market. So that's why I'm only buying things of quality. Something like SWI, something like ETH, something like Solana, maybe a little XLM, a little ADA, a little HBAR. Nothing in big proportions, just enough to make a difference. Okay? Enough to make a difference. I will let you all know, I did do another purchase not too long ago in my beginner portfolio. I added a little bit more ETH to the beginner portfolio, right around $2,700. I don't know where ETH is at right now. Yeah, it's up a little bit, but I don't really care about that. So I did add a little bit of ETH actually to the beginner portfolio. As you can see here, it does make up 1.85% of the total $10,000 portfolio now. So I did add a little bit of ETH, and the only reason that I did that was because it held so well. We obviously saw the hack news, and we saw people getting worried and stressed that everyone was going to dump ETH, and ETH held well. Institutions are buying ETH right now. Retail investors are dumping it. It's holding up well. It's stabilizing. It's down over 40, 50%. So it felt like a good time for me to buy it. So that was the only purchase that I've done recently. Before that, let me see if I can quickly skim. Yeah. So I did buy a little bit of SWI, a little bit of a pre-sale for shits and giggles, and then I bought a little bit of Ondo, but that was about 4 or 5 days ago, roughly. So that's all I've really done. I'm just buying high quality stuff. And that was a bit of, I mean, this is an exception. This is a bit of an outside thing, like an exception thing that I did. And this was literally just because, well, I'll buy it now and they won't launch until the market's in a better spot. So hopefully I'm just kind of buying a little bit now to make more money later on when the market's in a better place. It's a gamble. It's a stupid thing to do, but it's what I did. I don't care. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at from a technical perspective as well. Like, things are to the bottom side. Things have corrected a ton, but we're still cliff dwelling, right? As Benjamin Cohen likes to say, we're still cliff dwelling. At any given point, we might just see all these cryptos fall off a cliff. So although I am doing some DCAing here, I'm not doing gigantic purchases because I do want to keep a lot of cash ready just in case we do see that final pullback. Because again, history says that before Bitcoin can run, it dips. It's just what it does. It's how it almost always plays out. But hey, the more times something does happen, the more often it becomes that it won't, right? Because, I mean, we did have this period back here where it didn't. We saw this low, we set a higher low, we just ran for it. So it doesn't have to happen, but it does happen a good bit of the time, right? And so that's kind of where we are from a technical perspective, a fundamental perspective, obviously paying attention to liquidations. Yeah, and I think that's kind of where we're at. I guess kind of looking at what retail is up to, what I want to see real quick. I don't know why it's just blanking me right now. Here we go. I don't know why I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. So looking at crypto fear and greed index, I mean, we're sat at neutral here. CoinMarketCap puts us at 40. So a bit of a neutral place. People aren't too scared. They aren't too worried. And that is reflected in the price, right? We're going sideways because people don't know how to feel right now. So that is kind of why you're seeing the crypto market sat in a beginner's or kind of in a neutral place. You look at something like your visual screener, kind of just for example, what people are doing with each individual crypto. Over the last 24 hours, people are just scatterbrained. Some people are closing shorts, entering shorts, closing longs, entering longs. They don't know what to do, right? So the market's very uncertain. People feel neutral. They don't really feel much about the crypto market right now. So it's a good time to just not do too much. It's a good time to not do too much. No big buys, no big sells, no leverage, nothing. Just focus on learning more, add some more tools to your toolbox, find some more YouTubers, find some more indicators that you want to test out, right? Start focusing on the education side and so a little bit less on the investing and trading side right now until this plays out, especially when we get PCE data on Friday, okay? So that's kind of where we are. Just to kind of run you through the mill one more time before we do jump back into the chat. For some questions and stuff like that. If you are new to the world of crypto and you do want a little bit of extra information completely for free, again, the only thing that I'm going to do, it is completely for free. There is an upsell at the end, is you can go download the Crypto for Beginners guide by Tyler Hill. It's on this landing page. Enter your email, sign up and download. Boom. It's going to send you this, getting started, storing crypto, beginner investing strategies, technical analysis, indicators, fundamental analysis, and more. So feel free to go learn all that stuff down below if you're interested. And if you do want to see what I'm buying and selling and all that good stuff, as long as some, as well as some coaches, classes, live streams, and much more, you can check out the community. I mean, the community's been going nuts. If you look at the community gainers, it's just ridiculous. Like, I could scroll endlessly almost, and you'll just find hundreds of percentages and gains. There's over now logged and recorded $3 million worth of profit that's been generated amongst community members, which is ridiculous. So feel free to go check that out in the Patreon down below. And then last but not least, if you do want to trade, you can check out that link to weeks down below. You get a bunch of bonuses right now. So that's available for you down there. But with that in mind, let's kind of jump back into the chat. I have about 10 to 15 more minutes before I have to go jump on a meeting. So happy to answer some questions, check a couple things out. If you do send in some super chats, it does not guarantee that I am going to look at whatever you want me to. So don't send them if that's your intention. Just put that out there. Okay. All right, baby. 45 minutes of yapping. Hey, we got it though. All righty. And let me know if you guys have been enjoying the stream. I'd like to do this every Sunday that I'm home. So if you do kind of like these, get ready for the week live streams. Please do let me know down below. I'll keep doing them. Are we still bullish on Link? Yeah, I'm bullish on Link, but I just don't love Link. And I've said that for a long time. I don't love Link. I don't hate Link. I'm bullish. I think that there's going to be a spot for it in the future. I don't particularly think it's going to 200x, but it'll probably do okay because it's a high quality project, right? This was a good way to start the day, going to hop over to the school and trade some FC. Shout out to you, homie. Trading fart coin. I hate you. All right. Yeah. We could be here for a long time, quite frankly. We could be here for a long time. I mean, we've seen it last 6 months. We're only 2-3 months in now. So that's the unfortunate part about it, is it could last a very long time until something happens. All right. And it is what it is, Shout out to you. Hey Tyler, I've been looking into crypto financial planning tools. I'd really value your opinion. Is there any platform or app you personally recommend for managing and tracking crypto investments? I use CoinMarketCap for basically everything. I did kind of show them earlier, so please do feel free to rewind. But just very briefly, I do use CoinMarketCap to track my own portfolios and all that stuff and my transactions. For example, if I do download, hold on, let me do this export. So like, watch this. So what you can see here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Give me 1 second. Here you go. So like you can check this out. So like what it'll do. Oh damn it. Hold on 1 second. That's fine. Okay. So what you can see here is like it'll show you what you bought, when you bought it, and all that stuff. I find this super valuable. So I use CoinMarketCap portfolio tracker for everything. Let me know if that answers your question. Let me go back. Okay. Since Phantom changed to Sonic, what do you expect for in the long term? I've seen it hold relatively well recently around 0.8, which is big from where it was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. And it seems like it's going to be that player, right? If Layer 1s really get the love that they deserve, I think Phantom or S token, Sonic token, is going to be a part of that. So if this really is a super cycle based on the institutional buy-in this time around, the pullback phase of this bull run could be way longer. Hold your bags, odds. Agreed. It absolutely could. The pullbacks, things will get more boring and things will get expanded. So the bullish periods will be longer. The bearish periods will be longer. The boring periods will be way longer. Agreed. Why don't you believe in ADA? I do like ADA a ton. I just have enough ADA. I'm happy with my bag. I don't love ADA. I don't hate ADA. I just like ADA. So I'm just, I don't know. It just doesn't, it's kind of meh. So are you still bullish? We still have an alt season. I don't know, to be honest. I think we're going to see the altcoins that are the most institutionally adopted perform well. I'm not quite sure if we're going to have a retail-driven altcoin season. What's up, bro? I'm trading low leverage on Forex. Is the same concept as what you're doing in spot buys. Not sure if I should sell and restart a spot buying. I think that's okay. Forex leverage. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know who Dave Ramsey is, right? Dave Ramsey is someone who says you should never have debt ever. He knows fair and well that there is good versions of debt. He just doesn't want to say that because he needs to like put on the persona and like not make exceptions because that can be a little bit spirally. I'm not like that. It's fine to do low leverage trades, 2, 3x, 4x, 5x even. Obviously, it's more risky than just spot buying. But I think it's fine. Just be careful because you're going to make if the bear market starts, it's going to be much more stressful than it is for me, right? Because you have funding fees, which sucks. And then in addition to that, you also have amplified losses, which sucks, right? So just, it's just up to you, obviously, if you want to be a little bit more risky or not. I use Coin Tracker, but it's not free. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Okay. Anybody, I just will warn you, if you spam, I'm gonna mute you. Institutions love when you get bored, you'll do stupid shit and end up lizard food. Exactly. The moment you start getting emotional and all this other craziness, you're gonna lose. Simple as. You're gonna lose. Oh, I also forgot to show my Twitter again. If you have been enjoying the stream, by the way, guys, feel free to go follow me on Twitter at TylerHillYT, and we post a whole bunch of analysis and stuff like that every day. Whole bunch of stuff. We actually had a really good call the other day. Look at this. So we were talking about the fact that there was a ton of liquidations on the shorter time frames here, and then look what happened literally later that day. Just later that day, dipped right there and liquidated all those investors. So if you want kind of like the extra alpha, extra input, you can find that here. I also do post a lot of this stuff. You don't need to go follow me on Twitter if you don't want to. I want you to, obviously, but you don't have to, because I do also post just, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but if you go to the posts section on my YouTube channel, I also post a ton of this stuff here. So you can feel free to go check that out if you want. But go follow me on Twitter. It helps. Tyler, you should upload the streams after they finish for the peeps that miss it. Yeah, I do. It logs it automatically on YouTube. If you just go to the live portion right here, you can see all my previous live streams. You can see every time we go live. How y'all like the new thumbnails, by the way? I feel like they look pretty sweet. I'm not used to these glasses. I don't know how I feel about them, but I can see way better, so I'm going to keep wearing them, but I'm still kind of like conflicted on if I like them or not. Okay. Once we're out of the high manipulation zone, I want to start leverage trading as all I do now is spot buys. Would you recognize focusing on one currency like Bitcoin or Solana to trade, and would you focus on one trend? Absolutely. When you first get started into leverage trading, I think it's important to just specialize. Look at one very specific crypto and learn everything about it you possibly can and practice on that one. Every crypto moves in different ways, and that's what people don't. I don't think they realize that, right? To become a good trader, I mean, you don't have to be able to trade everything. Bitcoin and Solana move different. Hourlies, minutes, 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. They all move different. And obviously there are similarities, but they have different tendencies. Like Solana, I can tell you every single tendency that Solana has because I've looked at its chart every day for 4 years straight now, right? Or 4.5 years. So focus on one specific strategy, one specific trend, and then build on top of that over time. If you could only buy 3 altcoins for the short-term holds, which for short-term holds probably be Ethereum, Sui, and I'll do a risky one, like Tars AI, just for shits and giggles. Bro, I love the beginner info course you have for free. It's literally perfect to get my family involved, especially my little siblings. Much appreciated. That's kind of the goal. Obviously, there is a business side of it. Obviously being able to provide a bunch of information, like free information for beginners is great because that does lead to higher conversions into the school. And then obviously once you're in the school, I personally am going to start offering some like one-on-one stuff, group masterminds and all that. So it obviously is a good way to kind of funnel people in, but I get the benefit of having like the business side of things in the funnel and obviously getting more clients and conversions. And then in addition to that, you guys just get free stuff. So I feel like it's a fair balance. But I don't know. And I also hate so many YouTubers are so weird about that. Like they're scared to say, yeah, my free guide has many benefits. You get free stuff. I get more conversions on my school. Like that's not wrong. I don't think, at least, but whatever. Okay. I believe when ETFs were filed for Bitcoin, the price actually pulled back first, then pumped. That happens all the time, dude. It happens all the time. Look at the Bitcoin halving. If I remember correctly, the Bitcoin halving was not a good day. Like the day it happened. Like we didn't really see crypto perform that well for like a couple days, if I remember correctly, but I gotta be right about that because it's standing out to me. Yeah, but it happens all the time. So I would agree. When you get the hourly to daily, weekly updates of percentage drain, it's easy to get stressed. But when changing the graph for 1 month or 12 months, it looks a whole lot different. That's what I'm saying. It's like if people are so stressed out about crypto right now, or a lot of people are. But dude, if you even look at just the freaking monthly, it's like calm down. Like let me clear this. Like calm down. Calm all the way down. Like it's fine. Just relax. But obviously much easier said than done, to say the least. All right. Fluxband, Tia, Sangala. What I do, bro? Fluxband, Tia, Sangala. I don't know much about some of those, but I do know they're decent. Like I would definitely give them 6 out of 10 scores. So I mean, I think they're fine, and a lot of those have been around for a while. So yeah. Would you be interested in collabing on traditional investment instruments? I'm working on content related to stocks. My goal is to promote higher financial literacy. Yeah, absolutely. Did you send me? I've seen you a couple times, and I feel like we chat, and then I don't notice it again. Did you send me an email with your name and stuff, and I'll recognize it, and we'll chit chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to you all. What do you mainly trade leverage trade on? I kind of bounce between platforms just because I'm weird. Sometimes some days I just feel like trading on different ones. I trade on BTCC, Weeks, and CoinW the most, though. I really found out about Weeks through Cade, my financial advisor, Cade O'Neill. I started trading on that one a lot more recently, but CoinW is probably the smoothest one that I've traded on ever. Right. And I still do sponsors here on the channel. Sometimes I don't really do anymore, or I don't do them as frequently anymore just because I don't like it. Like, I don't know. I think as I'm getting deeper into it and like as my financial situation is where it is, like I've just come to recognize it's just not worth it. Like I've never talked about something on the channel that I thought was a scam or sketchy or whatever. Like I've never done that once, and that's just morally wrong. But I have talked about things that are risky, right? I've been sponsored by meme coins and stuff like that, which they weren't scams. I didn't think they were scams. I had my team literally audit them, meet the founders, whatever. But it's just like, I feel like if I had an audience of people who every single person knew how risky like a meme coin would be, and they would only invest if they actually knew what they were doing, I feel like I'd be more willing to do like sponsors on anything, really, like meme coins, micro caps, mid caps, whatever. But I am aware there are people in my audience who don't know that. And even though I say it over and over and over again, they'll still go buy a shit ton of a meme coin because I talked about it. And then it's like, it's frustrating. So that's why I just don't do them anymore. I do still get sponsors from platforms. I have a sponsored campaign actually coming up with Prop W, which is a prop trading firm, which is really cool. I have one of those coming up, and then I have one with Bybit as well, just kind of like exchange reviews and stuff like that. So I still do sponsors, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing sponsors as long as you're clear about it and you're being sponsored by good companies, right? As long as you're like Prop W, they're a prop trading firm. So if there's any leverage traders who watch my channel, they can go and sign up and like audition to be one of the traders for the firm, and then like they get a percentage of what they make. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's like when you watch TV, you see commercials. I guess maybe if you do too many sponsors, it's kind of shitty. But it's just all about what you promote. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why the fuck I went on that tangent. My bad. But yeah. If you're trying to become successful in leverage, oh, what's up, Hack? Shout out to Hack. Leverage trading, you can't be biased towards short or long unless you're doing long-term swing trades. Completely agreed. You need to be able to do anything. And I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, I'm biased towards long trades during bullish trends. I'm biased towards short trades during bearish trends. So I do get a little bit biased, but I'm more trading in the direction of the trend, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you're short-term trading like minutes, no, you need to be able to do everything. Yeah, you definitely need to be able to do everything. At this point, just wait for big news. Know they will use the news to dump the market, buy the day of the dump, and sell it when it restores. Literally, it's that simple. Buy the red days, sell the green days till something breaks. It's so easy. Bybit hack can trigger altcoin season. I have doubt, bro. All incidents happened on Friday. I'm interested to kind of see your logic behind that. I'm not sure I'm getting it. To people want a dollar cost average and not be emotional, just set your bots, set and forget. You'll keep saying, yeah, literally. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, Kate is my financial advisor and yours too. All right, Kate O'Neill, by the way. Go check him out on YouTube. This could try to panic sell. Okay, I see. Wealth of knowledge. Shout out to you, Dub Sunstep. Shout out to you, homie. That's why we appreciate everything you do. Your content is much, I swear to God. Even though things look gloomy, you always point out what the future can hold. Love it, man. And of course, and listen, there will be a day where I'm like, guys, we're in a bear market. We're fucked. Like the next year is gonna suck. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just give my honest thoughts. If I honestly thought we were in a bear market, I would tell you that. I have doubts. I have a little bit of concern. Don't get me wrong. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm not seeing it yet. So I'm just be honest with you guys. And there's that, there's kind of that. Yeah, Connor Kenny is my financial advisor as well. So is the Kanye going to trash the market like the... No. Every one of these meme coins is progressively causing less damage. So like Trump was the biggest one. Melania was the second biggest. Then it went to, I think, maybe Libra, if I remember correctly. These meme coins are almost going to just disappear into fucking nothingness pretty soon here, because people are falling for it less, which is great. As a meme coin enthusiast myself, I love meme coins to death. I love the gambling aspect of it. I love the thrill of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I've literally dedicated like 5 to 10% of my entire crypto portfolio to meme coins and microcaps and bullshit, right? Because I'm gambling, and I always basically just slightly positive or break even most years. It's fun and I love it, but it's just full of absolute dookie right now, dude. And what happened, again, and I don't even want to talk about it like vividly here on the channel, but what happened in the meme coin space like 2 days ago should be a sign that shit needs to relax for a while. Made with hand in pocket, feel cocky all day. Hell yeah. Totally agree with Aqua. I'm a financial analyst. I work with every major private equity fund, hedges, etc. You have the best content in the space for it. Well, much appreciated. Much appreciated. That means a lot. 99% of coins are going to disappear. Your thoughts? Yeah, 100%. 99.9%. There's 11 million of them. Only 1,000 of them are okay. 100 of those ones, 100 out of those 1,000 ones are good. Kinda. Truth Seeker, thank you. There are a lot of shady prop firms out there. We'll check out Prop W. Yeah, well, they work in partnership with CoinW, and I like CoinW a lot. I've been to a lot of CoinW events. I know some of the CoinW team personally myself, so I think Prop W is really good. That's my opinion, though. Okay. what happened 2 days ago that meme coins needs to just look it up. I don't really, again, I don't really want to go into it because it's tragic, but just shit's nuts, bro. Alrighty, well, look, guys, we're at a. Oh wait, hold on one second. If you look at what happened in December to January, we had a major downhill trend. We thought we were doomed, then it went back up a lot. February happened again. It dumped now, waiting for March. Yep, it happens basically all the time. Do you agree with Benjamin Cohen's analysis? What? What is his general thesis? I watch his like social dominance and metrics and Bitcoin dominance videos. I don't particularly know exactly what his market thesis is. I know obviously he's a big believer in diminishing returns, and I do agree with that. Curious about what his general thesis is for the market. If you want to share that with me, I'll let you know if I agree or not. I am indeed Hack's financial advisor. Bitcoin newbie, shout out to you. You calling me T Hill, that makes me think I know who you are in real life, but we'll see. Which exchanges do you consider best? Beginner versus intermediate versus pro? Beginner, Coinbase. Intermediate, Binance. Pro, the ones that have better fees. So probably like then that's when you dive down into like your Coin W's, your BTCCs, etc. Yeah, exactly. Hack is mine as well. Also, have you seen Mantra? It has went nuts. Did not matter if it was a dump or pump market, just did its own thing. Yeah, I did see that. I didn't look into what I didn't really look into what caused that and what sparked it. Sorry, I was trying to pop my knee there. What caused it or sparked it. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I have so many moving parts right now because we obviously have the school, and then we have my company Fluence, and then we have the YouTube channel, and then I'm working on a side project right now that I'll tell you guys about soon. I had 2 side projects actually, so I haven't really had time to look at new things. You know, I haven't really had time to look at new cryptos, but I'd like to get back into it soon. I hired quite a few people recently to kind of run some more of the operational things behind the business. Obviously, it does increase overhead. I think overhead for like 2 of our businesses now is over $20,000 a month, and it's fine. I mean, we obviously have the profit margins to be able to suffice, like, you know, we can handle it, but it's just like, when you start to invest that much into your operations, you really have to make sure that your systems are in place, because the moment you take a step back, like, things can start to break. And I can't really afford for those things to break because, I mean, I spent 4 years building them, right? And so I've been focused on getting those teams in place and obviously making sure that we have the properly corrected, you know, runway and budgets allocated to be able to handle the increased overhead. But now that we're kind of getting that situated and sorted, I'd like to get back into doing more research. I'm trying to get more creative, you know, like more thumbnail, like new thumbnails, new title ideas, video styles, editing. I want to get back in all that stuff now that I'm finally starting to like slow down with a lot of these other things we have going on here. So anyway, hacking his 150x, Tyler, you better advise your client to pump the leverage up. Yeah, Hack, stop being a puss. Let's go up to 400x. I'm a big fan of you, especially when it comes to protecting newbies from the lizard people. I try my best. I do get concerned I'm going to get banned off YouTube one day. That is kind of a fear that I have, because I say some quite obnoxious shit sometimes whenever it comes to like lizard people. I don't know. I hope I don't. Go follow me on Twitter just in case I do, though. But they did ban me off Twitter, and I had to make a new one. So I get a little worried about it, but I mean, it's fine. It won't be the end of the world, but it would be very annoying. I guess we'll see, though. Literally just did exactly what Tyler Hill and Connor told me to do, and I'm successful in crypto. Trust everything they say. Much appreciated. I'm gonna be wrong. I will warn you. I'll be wrong. But in general, I feel like the general principles of what we talk about do lead people to just buy and hold and wait. That kind of is just the premise of it, but we're content creators, so we have to be able to, like, you got to be able to make content. You know what I mean? Like, if my general thesis in crypto is if you just buy something and leave it alone for long enough, you'll be fine. Right? Like, if you buy something that's high quality and you leave it alone for long enough and you take profits when it's up, you'll be fine. But obviously, if I want to make content every day, I have to get much more detailed than that, if that makes sense. It's kind of one of the shitty things about being not shitty, being a YouTuber is the best job in the world, but it's kind of one of the things about it that kind of sucks, though, is because I feel like I'm trying to find ways to say the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm trying to make the same point in a different way every day and then talk about the news, you know? But I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, it's what you got. But anyway. Okay. If you get banned, the school pupils will break YouTube. Yeah, I would hope we could figure it out if I do get banned off YouTube. I'm a little scared of that. that would definitely derail some of my things. It wouldn't be the end of the world, like I said before. I mean, like we have the 10plex and we have the real estate and we have the school and the agency. We have all that stuff, but I like making YouTube videos. So hopefully not. I've considered like not talking about it so much, like not talking about the manipulation and all that, but man, kind of just fuck it. You know what I mean? Like we'll just kind of see what happens, I guess. I don't know. Tyler told me to buy you fuck off. Tyler told me to buy Fartcoin at $2 and now I'm down 80%. All things aside. You fuck off. I literally told you you were a moron. And then you made a lot of money. So oh my goodness. Tyler, imagine that this Bitcoin consolidation will last forever and we won't earn anything anymore. That's a different thought. Nah, yeah, I mean, no. We're in an expanding asset class. If the intrinsic value, if it was to do that, it's kind of like XRP, right? XRP built up intrinsic value for so long while its price didn't reflect it that in the moment where its price did reflect that intrinsic value, it immediately just exploded, right? And I think that's what crypto would do. So considering we're in an expanding asset class, even if we did remain in a sideways consolidationary channel for a year or two, I still think because the value of crypto as a whole is growing, Bitcoin would explode out of nowhere because it is undervalued inherently. But yeah. Good job on Stock Up with Larry Jones. Absolutely. Much appreciate that. This guy got me wrecked. I probably told him to buy Fartcoin. I'll meet you in the chat and we can trade some Fartcoin because Tyler said so. Almost all crypto has no intrinsic value. I harshly disagree. Well, okay. Well, it depends on your interpretation when you say almost all crypto. Like say, for example, if you're saying percentage wise, I completely agree. I would say 99.9% of cryptos don't have intrinsic value. But if we're talking about, say, the top 100, or let's even say the top 20, I would say that is harshly untrue. I would say that's harshly untrue. Just depends on your interpretation of it, though, I guess. Expecting some bearish moves if ETFs keep on selling like last week. Reasonable. But you're at the same time where you're seeing ETFs selling off, you're seeing institutions and smart wallets accumulating. And I think it's the retail investors within those who own, like those are retail investors who bought through ETFs who are selling. I don't think those are actual institutions. Current YouTube channel, Tyler Hill Investing. Next YouTube channel, Tyler Hill Boxing Crypto Influencers. I talked to the guys at the Influencer Fight League, and they asked me if I wanted to get on the next card in Dubai, like to box someone. But I told them unless it's like Alex Becker, I wouldn't do it. I'm happy not fighting. You know, I had damn near 30 fights, so I don't really want to do that anymore. You know, it hurts. Shout out to you, Jose. Much appreciated, homie. Happy to have you. Anyone Farmed Pie released their mainnet recently after like 5 years. So happy I stuck with it. I've seen a lot of people making some pretty good money off of it. Very nice. Very happy to see it to see it play out. Because I feel like at one point a lot of people felt like they were wasting their time. So happy to see people who had that dedication for half a decade, play out well. Awesome. Such a pleasant change now that you've moved away from clickbaiting videos. I used to hate them. Now I subscribe. Yeah, man, I really love YouTube so much more now. Dude, doing the whole clickbait, chasing as much YouTube money bullshit as humanly possible, it was just draining, and it was very inauthentic of me, I think. I don't think I recognized it. Like, I don't think I was making a conscious effort or conscious decision to not be authentic. But I think now that I decided, like, fuck it, I'm just going to make content that I want to do. Like, I'll go on a live stream, and if I say a few cuss words, it is what it is. Like, I'm gonna give you guys myself, like, as at the base. Like, I feel like the version of me you guys get is like the same version of me my friends get, right? And so I'm gonna just give you that, and we'll just see what happens. Because I'm gonna be honest, I did think when I stopped clickbaiting and stuff that my channel was just gonna get destroyed. Like, I thought I was gonna lose views, and I thought my sponsorship revenue was gonna go down. And that's why I did kind of like take a little bit of a break, and I focused a lot on the school and the agency and stuff, because I was like, well, if I'm gonna lose a lot of money on YouTube, then I need to make sure my revenue streams in the other places are good. And so I went, obviously me and the partner my partners bought a 10plex in Michigan. And obviously we have the real estate around Louisiana. Like, I focused in on those other places because I did think I was going to kill my channel. But it's odd because like then my channel like tripled. I didn't plan that. It just kind of happened how it happened. Okay. Bad news is starting to tank stuff less and less lately. I'm not. It's because people don't care. They're getting so emotionally fatigued by this market. They just don't care. It's like if the market drops, fuck it, let it go. If it pumps, let it go. Don't care. They're buying into the bullshit less. And that's a really good sign because it means that this HMZ that we're in is having less success. It's not holding up as well as it had previously, and that's a very good thing. It's what you want to see. It's the reason why when you look at your liquidation map, you see how the general trend of liquidations is going down. Like your liquidations to the upside are dropping and then the downside are dropping. For the most part, it's because people are they're not buying into the bullshit as much. And it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. And it does entail that we could see this market break out soon. I didn't mean to go over the Bollinger Band width earlier, but I guess we'll go over that in the next stream. Oh, this is actually a tutor. So this is I'm sorry, not a tutor. This is a TISO. This is one of the PR516s. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite watches. I think it was like $900. And the reason I actually got this watch was because I have a Datejust. I have a Rolex Datejust, a 2017 one. It looks very similar to this one. And I just got a little nervous, like a little scared. There's been like crypto YouTubers getting kidnapped and shit, and like people's homes getting broken into. And so I got a little concerned about that. And so when I upped my security, obviously getting a vault and all that good shit, like I wanted to wear a watch that looked like that gave me that same style as my Rolex, but obviously wasn't $15,000. And so I ended up getting this bad boy. And this is one of my favorite day-to-day watches. I wear this all the time. I'm kind of a bit of a watch head, but obviously I try to not go too stupid. But yeah, anyway. I found this channel right at the tail end of the clickbaity titles, but there was such good analysis in it that I stayed. Glad you moved away from it. Your content has only gone up from here. Much appreciated. Brillo, shout out to you, homie. Much appreciated. I've seen you a lot recently. It's all love. Can you speak about leverage trading? If you can't lose, can you speak about leverage trading? If you can't lose more money than you invested, can you just take a bull and bear position at high leverage? Yeah, you can. But the likelihood is both will get liquidated. Like if you're on high leverage, the market's gonna go bink bink and just liquidate both of them. So it's not particularly a great idea. Shout out to you, Jason. Jason, you've been one of my favorite people I've seen in the comment section, and also you, Crypto Carpenter. Shout out to you. See, now that's a compliment. That's a freaking compliment. All love, Blue Man Music. All love to you, homie. I tried really hard on this, and it may not look like it, but I did. I'm in one of the 5 stages of death right now, and I'm not sure which one yet. Shout out to you, Jason. All love, homie. That's how I feel. I don't care. If we need to go down, just let it get over with so we can go about our day. Exactly. You get it. Shout out to you, XR. Oh, XR Render. What's up, homie? Welcome in. I remember you from the stream. I don't know if that was yesterday or whenever. My day's gonna get mixed up, but much appreciated. Happy you're here. We're actually about to wrap up pretty soon here. Me and my wife are gonna watch Severance. I keep telling you to watch Severance, damn it. It's a good show. Get shit. I don't remember what it's on. I think it's on Prime. I think the first episode is on Prime. Then you need Apple TV to watch the rest of it. It's a good show, dude. It's a good show. It's one of the best shows I've watched. Go watch it. We're actually going to watch that today. Got a little donuts. We're going to hang out. It's a rainy day out here. I'm going to work on some new YouTube thumbnails. Yeah, I think that's all I'm doing for the rest of the day, probably. Probably just hanging out. I've been trying to kind of reset my weeks a little bit. What I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years is just kind of working every day. I used to take Fridays off. I don't really do that anymore. But recently, I've been having spurts where I'll work like 8 to 10 hours a day, every goddamn day. And it's just not great. It's not great for you mentally. I was kind of entrapped within this toxic ass mindset of like, oh, my competition's outworking me, which is just nonsense. And so recently I've been trying to take a little bit more time off on weekends and like hang out with the family, play with the dogs, watch some TV shows, cook some food, do whatever, and then work obviously 8, 10, 12 hours a day during the week. I can handle that. That doesn't bother me. It's just doing it on the weekend too is just shitty. So like I like to work like 2 hours on the weekend and then just kind of hang out. You know what I mean? Just kind of hang out. Anyway. Are you involved in stocks? Yeah, I am involved in stocks. I can probably show you this real quick. This is something that I showed on the last live stream. Let me be rather careful here. Here, you know what? Let me I just don't want to accidentally show something I don't want to. I'll just tell you instead of showing you because it's going to be complicated. So my net worth breakdown, percentage wise, is actually pretty heavy in stocks. So I have 12% in cash, 21% in real estate, 21% in stocks, 24% in crypto, 8% in my watch collection, and then 14% broken up amongst like random stuff, kind of resellables, jewelry, cars, yada yada yada. So I actually have almost the same amount in crypto or stocks that I do in crypto. The thing about it is though, like it's fucking boring. Like my stock portfolio is so boring. I have maybe half of it, like 50% of it in SPY and 50% of it in VOO. I own no individual stocks at all. So that's why I just don't really talk about it here much. But it is a way that it's where I like to funnel a lot of the money from my my agency to. Like a lot of the money that we make from the influencer management agency and relations agency, we funnel that over to my stock portfolio, just like retirement accounts and long-term investments. Shout out to Jason. Hit that gym, bro. I actually did I went to the gym earlier. I did some chest, which I know it don't look like it. I did some chest, biceps, and triceps, and then I hit 17 minutes on a Stairmaster on 12 speed. So I'm getting up there. I like to do cardio and weight training. I know it's obviously not the most efficient way to do things, obviously, because whenever you do your cardio, you're kind of pulling away some of the energy from your muscle development. I get that, but I just kind of want to stay strong, my version of strong, I guess, and with good cardio. So that's what I did today. But shout out to you anyway. For someone that is still 100% on the sidelines, any good entry points on HBAR, Ondo, or something coin? I'm inclined to just ape in right now. I don't ever think just aping in is a good idea. What I would tell you is on days where they drop anywhere from 5 to 10%, just buy a little bit. Take 1% of your available cash for each one of those positions, just throw it in. If it drops another 5%, 1%, throw it in. 5% again, just throw it in. And just start building into those positions that way. It'll usually work out better that way. Oh, shit. Yo, hack, relax, bro. Oh my god, look at this moron. Look at him. Fucking hell. Hack opened a 500x leverage. This thing literally moved. I'm not that good in math, but I think that's like 90 cents or 89 cents or something like that. 89 cents. And this dude made a 15%er. Bro opened a 500x long trade on BTCC. My God. Hack, you're a psychopath. Hack is one of the coaches in our community, by the way. He's an absolute monster, but he is quite psychotic, if you ask me. Gonna just game today. What are you playing? What game are you playing? It's a lazy Sunday. No point being stressed about charts. Sounds a lot better than staring at the millisecond chart today. Agreed. Hey, also, drink y'all water, or I'm going to ban you from the chat. Dude, go watch it. I'm telling you, it's fire. Do you play with bullish and bearish divergence on varying time frames? I notice they kind of waterfall into each other and can be semi-productive. 100%. 100%. I think bullish divergences on the higher up of a time frame you go are way more reliable, but I definitely do think that they're impactful. I think they're one of the best, actually, indicators that you can use when you're trying to decide whether or not you want to ladder in or ladder out. Not a huge fan of divergences in leverage trading personally. Maybe just for like kind of confirmation or trend confirmation, but not so much like obviously using it as a key indicator for when I'm going to enter or exit a leverage trade. But I definitely do like it whenever I'm laddering in of trades or out of trades, or whether I'm just DCAing in or DCAing out for sure. I feel like in order for crypto to be in the majority of the working classes 401k, the volatility will be too much for the average American. Possibly Bitcoin may act more like a stablecoin. Completely agree. Completely agree. What color Lambo do you have? I do not have a Lambo. I consider getting one. Just the hard part about getting one is that, like, if I was to get one, so I live in Louisiana, right? And the closest dealership or even servicer to me for, Lambo, McLaren, whatever, is either in Dallas or Houston. So I would have to get it put like on a trailer, or they'd have to come get it, and then I'd have to send it, and I wouldn't get it back. Like for any maintenance, anything, and I just don't really want to go through that. It just sounds super annoying, and I'm someone who does struggle a little bit with instant gratification. Like when I want something, I want it right then, right there. Um, so I just didn't feel like dealing with that, quite frankly. I do not like VOO and SPY. The algos are dangerous. Is it because they're so heavily weighted into tech, or VOO is at least? Is that kind of the reasoning? Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. The fees on that took half the gains. Yeah, no shit. You can find the Discord. It's not a free Discord, but it is. You see the link that it says. Hold on, let me just double check that the link works. Yeah, you see the link that says join our crypto school and level up your investing skills. That'll take you to the school, which has the Discord in it. Um, I'm not a huge car enthusiast. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like cars, but I'm definitely not like super educated. I mean, I know a good bit about my own one, but I'm not like a car guy, if that makes sense. I like cars and I can talk to people about cars, but I'm not kind of like enthusiastic about it, if that makes sense. Alrighty. Well, look, I want to go get some food, and I want to go. Actually literally have a meeting started 8 minutes ago, and I forgot. So I'm gonna go jump off. We have a big week coming up. I have a bunch of content coming out for you guys. I have a bunch of tweets, a bunch of threads, some shorts. I'm gonna be doing called Tips with Tyler, and they're gonna be quick shorts that help those of you who are beginners out. Just to kind of shamelessly plug a couple more things one more time before we go. Go follow me on Twitter at Tyler Hill YT. If you do want extra content, as a link, the link's down below. If you're a beginner, go put your email in right here. Press sign up and download, and I'm going to send you this beginner's guide that talks a whole bunch about the different things that you need to know if you're going to get started in crypto. If you do want to sign up to the school, which is where you can find people like myself and Hack and some of the other coaches and Connor Kinney and Aaron Bennett, workshops, classes, live streams, signals, and more. You can check that out down below for as little as $5 a month. That's available for you there. And then lastly, if you do want to start trading today, over on Weeks, you will get a bunch of big bonuses if you sign up and start trading today. So feel free to go check all that out. Overall, though, we have a bunch of stuff coming out this week, so I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I will be home basically until Friday, so we have a bunch of content coming out for you guys, so do stay tuned for that. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button on the way out. It would help out a lot, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.